Work, work, let's work. Work, 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 work.
What's up, Big Dawg? This is Coach Roll, and we are back in the lab with another episode of Big Dawg Trench Talk. Big Dawg is here. We here now. It's football season, and I'm excited, and I cannot wait. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be front and center for that first college game this week. Because let me tell you, it's been a long off season. Coaches and athletes, the spring training, the summer conditioning and lifting, the OTAs, the fall camps. Some of you had surgery and you recover from that. You worked hard to recover and rehab with that. All that stuff that you've been doing, practicing as a team, captain-led practices. I've been watching it all. I've been seeing it all. And now I'm excited because now you get to put all that together, not just as a player, but as a team. I like to always say, every time you play the game of football, the question will always be, which team is a team? You get to show which 11 functions as one. It's not 11 equals 11. It's 11 equals one. How can we get every individual, every athlete on the field to function as one? That's what all of this is about. Yes, you have to win your one-on-one matchups. Yes, you have to dominate the player in front of you. Absolutely. But how many of those matchups can we win? If we function as one body, I guarantee you that the scoreboard will show that at the end of the game. But it's time now. It is time. I've been hearing a lot of trash talking. I've been seeing a lot of rankings and what we're going to do and all the talent that we have and all that stuff. None of that matters when you step on the field. You're with your team and you're looking across from you at your opposition, and hopefully you are confident and hopefully you are ready to perform, knowing that you have outworked, that you have out-practiced, that you have out-drilled, that you have out-hustled the guy that is across from you. Hopefully that's what you're thinking. And so in today's episode, as I am excited about this upcoming season, today's episode is on thinking like a dog. What does it take to be successful in the game of football? What does it take to be a successful player just as much as it is to be a successful person? Now, I know for a lot of us, we have a lot of different answers, and I would love to hear what those answers are for you. But I'm going to talk about what it means to think like a dog, what it means to be successful as a dog. Now, the way that I spell dog is DAWG, which is an acronym for driven, attitude, wills, greatness. Those four things for me, drive, attitude, will, greatness, those four things for me, Big Dawg, speaks to what it means to be successful in the game of football, what it means to be successful as a player and as a person. That's just me. That's how I live my life. My drive, my attitude, my will, and greatness. It's not just good enough to be good once, but can we be consistently good, which makes you great? Today, I want to talk about and really focus on attitude. Over the years of me training and coaching guys on all levels, the biggest thing that I have seen a deficit in has been attitude. Not having the right attitude, not having the right mentality, not having enough appetite to really want what it is that you desire, what it is that you are after. The reason why you're playing the game of football in the first place. I've seen too much of guys not having the right attitude. So today, I've got to talk about attitude. I'm the kind of coach and the kind of player to where what's important to me is attitude before arsenal. Having the right mentality before I teach you to use a certain weapon. I can give you one of the most devastating weapons there is. I can teach you how to use exceptional pass rush skills or how to play with exceptional pass rush skills, how to maneuver your way through the offensive line, how to break through the line of scrimmage, how to dominate at the line of scrimmage. If you do not have the right attitude, none of that will work. Sometimes we put the arsenal before the attitude. We put the skill before the mindset. And when we put the skill before the mindset, then we hope in the skill, not understanding that the mindset is the fuel. The mindset will make anything work because there's a desire there, there's an attitude there that says, I must, I have to, I have no choice. Too many athletes I've heard too many athletes say, Coach, that didn't work. I tried it and it didn't work. Not understanding that they didn't have the right attitude behind the effort. The attitude has to be there. And so I want to talk about today attitude. In talking about attitude, I want you to do an activity with me. It's something that I do with all of my dogs, especially my youth athletes and high schoolers. It's something that I do with them to set the mentality, to set the mindset of the season. So I'm going to do it with you. What I would like for you to do, I want you to write down the word attitude. 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 Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a numerical value, a number value to every letter of the word attitude. We're going to give it a number value to every letter of the word attitude. A would equal 1. T equals 20. T, 20. I, 9. T again is 20. U would be 21. D would equal 4. And E would equal 5. So we just put a numerical value to every letter of the word attitude. What I want you to do with the numbers 1, 20, 20, 9, 20, 21, 4, and 5. What I would like for you to do is to take a quick second and add that up for me. I want you to add up all those numbers on hopefully a paper or your phone, and I want you to tell me what those numbers equal. I'll give you a second. If you take the numerical value to every letter of the word attitude and you add it up, hopefully you got the number 100. Now, some people say, Coach, that's just a coincidence. I'm always trying to establish mental power and mental strength to carry out the task. So to me, that meant something. It was a message to me that there's a reason why attitude equals 100. So I'm going to ask you this, Big Dawg. Why do you think the word attitude equals 100? I want you to think about it for a second. Think about it. We're often so busy we don't get a chance to think. I'm giving you time to think right now. Why do you think? What is your opinion as to why the word attitude equals 100? So let's go back to the question, and then we'll answer that. I'll at least give you my opinion about why I think that's the case. What does it take for an athlete to be successful in the game of football? What does it take for a player and a person to be successful, not just on the field, but also in life? I think attitude. Your attitude plays a huge role in your success. I think one of the reasons why, or what it could represent, that attitude equals 100 is this. Your attitude plays 100% into what you will or will not become. Your attitude plays 100% into what you will do or not do. Your attitude plays 100% as to what you choose to face or what you choose to turn away from. Your attitude plays 100% as to your effort that you're going to put out or the effort you choose not to put out because you're afraid to fail. Your attitude is the reason why you keep getting back up every time you get knocked down. Or your attitude is the reason why you stay down the one time you got knocked down. I believe that your attitude plays 100% into the person and player that you will become. It is your attitude. It is your mentality. It is your position. It is how you perceive yourself. It is how you perceive what it is that you want. How do you view it? How do you perceive it? Another word for attitude is appetite. What is your appetite? How much do you want it? Whether you believe you can achieve it or not, how much you want it, your appetite for it will supersede that. If you really, really want something really bad, even if you don't think you can achieve it, that appetite will have you keep attempting to receive it. Your attitude also affects your altitude. Your altitude describes how high you go, and how high you go is related to how successful you are, your attitude. I want to break this down a little bit more, but I believe that your attitude does play 100% into what you will or will not become, your attitude. You can have a good attitude about something, about yourself. You can have a bad attitude about something or about yourself. It is a belief system. Your belief system in yourself will play a large factor into how far you will go, how much you will achieve. Not my attitude about you, not your coach's attitude about you, not your teammates' attitude about you, not your parents' attitude about you, your attitude about you, what you believe in yourself, how much you want what it is that you are looking at, how your appetite is, or how much you desire what it is that you're going after. Your attitude about yourself plays 100% into what you do or will not obtain and accomplish and achieve. Is your attitude. I looked up the word attitude in the etymology dictionary. Etymology speaks to the origin of a word, where our words come from, where we get our sayings and things of that nature. When I looked up the etymology of the word attitude, I found a very interesting definition. What it said was the etymology of the word attitude is spoke to a posture or position of a statue. A posture or a position of a statue. Now, I love that because, one, I love art. I did art for a very long time. I sculpted, not on a large scale, but I did some sculptures in my art career when I did art. And so that really resonated with me when I heard the position of a statue. And the first thing that I liked about that definition was the posture or the position. What is your posture or what is your position when it comes to success? What is your posture? Back where I'm from, if somebody squared up on me or if somebody came to my face, Big Dawg, for whatever the reason may be, I was told to square up on them. That means I took a posture. I put my hands up. I put my left foot up and I took a posture. I formed a position because the situation that was in front of me required these hands. You feel what I'm saying, Big Dawg? It was time to fight. It was time to take a posture of fight. And when it was time for me to take a posture of fight because me and my possessions were in a threat, I took a position of posture. When I was being questioned about a certain thing, or when I was told in class that I may not get that 4.0, or I may not have a high GPA, I took a posture. I took a position. I sat in front of the class. Don't challenge me, because when you challenge me, I'm going to take a posture. I'm going to take a position. I'm going to reposition myself, and I'm going to posture myself. I'm going to take a certain place in my life where I'm going to stand still and hold my place like a statue, Big Dawg. I was told that I wouldn't be an All-American athlete. I took a posture on that. I was told that I may not get a full scholarship, to a D1 school. Well, I took a posture on that. I was told that I couldn't be a good defensive lineman in the SEC because I wasn't tall enough. Well, I took a posture on that. Those things that I was told that I could not do, I formed a posture. And as an artist, when you're forming a statue, when you're trying to shape a posture, there are certain things you have to add to the statue, and there are certain things that you have to sculpt out. And whatever it is that I had to do, I did it to take a certain posture. You get what I'm trying to tell you, Big Dawg? I've got to take a posture based on my belief system. That's what I did. And I love that definition, the etymology of the word attitude, because it talks about sculpting and removing and adding and shaping yourself to a certain statue to where you form a certain shape in the face of opposition. In the face of opposition, what's your statue? In the face of your opposition, whether it be a player or a situation, what statue, what posture do you take? Do you turn around? Do you bow down? What do you do? Or do you stand up? Do you raise your chest? Do you raise your chin? Do you lift your hands? Do you get into position? Because opposition is at play. What posture do you take? What position do you take? So the first thing I liked about that definition was posture and position. The posture and the position that you take is what you believe. Now, when you came up on me and you came within a certain space, within my space, when you took a certain place within my space, to me, automatically, I squared up. I took a posture. I really didn't care whether I was going to win or lose or not. But you was going to feel the consequences of being in my space. You were going to know that you was in my space, and there's a consequence to step in my space with a certain mentality. Win, lose, or draw, I'm taking a posture. I'm getting into position. That's just how it was for me. And that's still how it is in regards to success, in regards to business, in regards to coaching, in regards to all of those things. Opposition. When I see opposition, I take posture. Opposition is the opportunity for me. I see opposition as opportunity. That's my mentality. That's my attitude. When I see opposition, I get into position, Big Dawg. That's how it's been. That's how it always will be for me. What do you do when you see opposition? What position do you take when you see opposition? That depends on your attitude. The second part of the word etymology of the second part of the definition of attitude, the etymology of the word attitude, it says statue. I love that because the thing about a statue is it is specifically placed in a certain position. It has taken position. It has been created to form a certain posture. Now it has been placed in a certain position. And despite if it's raining, despite if it's thundering, despite if it's cold or hot or hail or whatever the case may be, that statue will remain. That statue ain't moving, Big Dawg. You're not going to move that statue. It's been placed there, and it's been placed there to stay there. Do you have that mentality that when opposition comes and it's time to face opposition and you get into a position and form a posture, do you have the mentality that despite the fact that you didn't make the tackle this time, I maintain my statue. I maintain my place. I didn't have the best game this time, but I still believe the same thing. Rain, snow, hot, cold, I believe the same thing about myself. That does not change. Give it a minute, it's going to happen, but that has not changed. My attitude has not changed anything about me because my attitude plays 100% into what I will become. That has not changed. Just because I have not obtained it now does not mean I will never obtain it. My attitude does not allow me to believe anything else. I go back to the drawing board. I go back to practice. I watch film. I do a little extra work. I do what I have to do to make sure that what I believe shows on the field. I don't just change my statue because it didn't happen. I don't reposition myself because I didn't obtain it. I don't change my shape or my position or my posture because I didn't possess what it is I wanted to possess this play or possess this game. I remain steadfast and I stay in place until I see it. Are you a statue? Or do you keep changing shape? Or do you keep changing beliefs? Or do you keep changing your mentality about yourself because this one time you didn't obtain it? I want you to do something, Big Dawg. I want you to go and research all of these companies, most of these companies that are successful today. And what you're going to find is a lot of people that didn't have all the resources they needed, didn't have all the help they needed, got hundreds, sometimes thousands of no's. However, what they believed, the attitude they had about themselves was unchanging. And that's what I challenge for you, Big Dawg. My challenge to you is that your attitude remains unchanging. You can't afford for your attitude to change because there's something that I have to accomplish and there's something that I have to do. I put too much work in, Big Dawg. I have not been outworked this season, this off season. So there's no way you deserve this win. I don't care how successful, how many plays was this series. I will be back next series. My attitude can't change about myself. Look at it. Research those people and learn from them. Despite the failures that they have had, they didn't put the ER behind it. They didn't label themselves. When you lose, don't label, learn. When you lose, Big Dawg, your attitude will help you not to label yourself, but to learn from the loss. That's the big difference now. And that's what I challenge you with your attitude. Just like these successful people you've seen who've not made basketball teams, who didn't make the 53-man roster, who did not make the NFL the first time that they played. There's all kind of stories that's not out there of people that had the right attitude and they kept trying again and again and again. And they kept losing again and again. But they never gave up on what they believed that they could do until one day. And hopefully that's your testimony. Until one day, it happened for me. Until this one time, I cracked success. It happened for me. It happened one day. But I almost gave up. I was right there. I didn't even know how close I was. I almost gave up. And then it happened. Your attitude will keep you at it, going at it, for as long as you need to, until you physically see what you've been seeing in your mind, what your attitude has helped you to see. So that's why I like that definition. I wanted to give you the etymology of the word attitude. I wanted to give you that definition because it stood out to me. It stood out to me quite a bit because that is how I feel when it comes to success. We have to be. We have to take a posture or take a position, especially when we see opposition, and be a statue in a sense, figuratively speaking, to remain steadfast, to consistently and continuously believe in ourselves despite the condition. I'm going to say that one more time. I am going to take a posture and a position despite opposition, in the face of opposition, and I'm going to figuratively form a statue, a belief system about myself, and I'm going to remain that way consistently despite the condition, despite the rain, the heat, the snow, the lightning. I will remain the same. Everything else can change, but what I believe about myself will remain a statue, remain standing in the same place. Big Dawg, we need that this season. All that stuff that you've been doing in the off season means nothing. All those skills, all the drills you've done, the moves you've learned, how to defeat double teams, how to stab, swat, fork, lift, spin, counters, and all this stuff that you've done means nothing without fuel, without attitude, without believing in yourself. That's the missing ingredient. Because you're going to lose some. If nobody told you that, let me tell you, you're going to lose some. It ain't football if you don't lose some. Now, I don't mean necessarily a game. I mean a play. You might lose that play. And you're going to win some too. But whether you win or lose, what's your position? What's your posture? What's your belief in yourself? Does that change? Do you stop believing in yourself because you didn't do the best on that particular play? It's football. Get back up. So what? I saw one athlete, he had a particular play, he missed a tackle, and he's sitting on the ground. Why are you getting up? Get up. Get off the ground, big dog. The next play is coming. And the beautiful thing about football is when that next play comes, you can fix that last play. You can make it right, depending on what you believe. You can make it right. You can fix it. But you got to get up. You got to get back up. You got to put your hands back in the dirt, and you got to go back to work. Big dog, this season is the year. It's the year for you. I don't know what has happened last season, the year before. Let the past remain where it's at. It's a new year now. It's a whole new year. And you get to write the narrative. Not necessarily about what they think about you. The narrative needs to start with what you think about you. What is your attitude about you? What is your posture? What is your position concerning yourself? Can I be great? Can you? Will I succeed this year? Will you? Will I be productive in my play this year? It's a good question, big dog. And it all lies in the treasure chest of your heart. It lies within the box of your attitude. Your attitude will answer those questions. When you look at your life, your attitude is like a lens. And you look at life differently based on the lens of your attitude. We may see one thing, but you may see something else because of the attitude. Good or bad. It's the faith system. What alters our attitude? What causes us to sometimes, as players and people, to have the wrong attitude as to whether we can succeed or not? There are a lot of different things, but one thing for sure, our enemy has always been fear. Fear is also a faith system. Fear is also a system of belief. I believe more that I will fail than succeed. But fear doesn't mean that something's wrong with you, big dog. Fear is a human emotion. But there's different kinds of fear. There is the forget everything and run, or there is the face everything and rise. Which fear are you operating off of? Fear can be turned into fuel. Fear can be a force. Fear can be something that you use as energy. Fear is what helps you prepare. Fear is what makes you study. Fear is what makes you do extra conditioning. Fear is what makes you fix your foundation. Fear is what has you go back out there and get it right. Fear is the reason why you put in more time than the guy across from you. Fear is why you can't wait to show up on game time. Fear is sometimes the reason why. Because you put the work in, you face everything and rose, and you are welcoming opposition. You form posture. You get into a position because you have fear. Fear in the sense that you are ready to face everything. That's when you know that fear has turned into faith, when you're ready to face everything and rise. But if you have fear and you forget everything and you run, big dog, you've taken the wrong posture. You're in the wrong position. You have more faith that you'll fail than you will succeed. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the toughest guys I've played against, the guys I've knocked down, the guys that I've beat, within the matter of a game, the guys that kept coming back at me as if they didn't just experience that loss from the last rep, those guys have been the toughest because they did not allow a loss to change their posture or their position about themselves. They kept coming back. I'm beating them, they coming back. I'm beating the double team, they're coming back. And I'm looking at them like, what's wrong with you? You should be down on yourself, right? You should not want to even go against me no more. But that guy wasn't concerned about losing. He was concerned about progressing. He said, man, that was a good move. That's good, big dog. I like that. What move that was? A stab swat? A forklift? I like that, big dog. Oh, you turned your shoulders on that? I like that. I'll be back, though. I love that. I learned from that. I learned that even if I lose, I win. And when I win, I win. Either way, I'm a win. Because that's what my attitude is telling me to do. Big Dawg, it takes a special person to be successful. It takes a special attitude that you possess now to be successful. Your attitude plays 100% into what you will or will not become. It's your choice. What you choose to believe. Just because you have fear, it doesn't equal failure. It equals what you say it equal. Will I forget everything and run? Or will I face everything and rise? It's your choice, Big Dawg. But I know this. That first snap is coming. That first snap is coming. And I hope you're ready. And know you've been looking good. And you've been going to these camps. And you've been beating all these guys in one-on-one. Well, guess what? Now you got to face a team. It's different when you're playing a team now. I know you believed in your skill and you was fast and strong. And that's great now. That's good. But let's see what happens when you play a team. And let's see if you have helped grow your team to play this team that you got coming. It's all about 11 equaling 1. Believing in each other, having the right attitude about each other, because those are the things in football that matter. What's your attitude towards yourself? What's your attitude towards your team and the scheme and all the work we've done in the offseason? It's going to show. It's going to show when this game comes. Ooh, I can't wait. Football week, baby. And I love what football represents. And I love what it shows. And I love the camaraderie. And I love all of that. And I can't wait to see it this week. Big Dawg, it's that time. It's time. Let's put it all together, Big Dawg. I'm going to be watching. I'm sure we're going to be watching. I'm going to be in the trenches. You know what time it is, baby. Let's go to work.
Work. Work. Work. Let's work. Work.